Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Healing Space. I'm your host, Maya Sol. Today, we're having a conversation that doesn't happen nearly enough. We're talking about men, not just what men do, not just how men show up in relationships, but what many men carry beneath the surface that the world rarely sees. Today's episode is called The Fear Behind Masculinity. When people hear the word masculinity, they often think of strength, confidence, leadership, protection, responsibility. And while those qualities can absolutely be part of healthy masculinity, what we don't talk about enough are the fears that often exist behind the image. Because many men spend their entire lives learning how to appear strong while quietly carrying fears they rarely speak about. Many boys grow up hearing messages like, man up, stop crying, be tough. Over time, those messages teach many boys that emotions should be hidden instead of expressed. Pain should be carried instead of discussed. Struggles should be solved instead of shared. As those boys become men, many continue carrying those lessons. And while they may look strong on the outside, many are fighting battles internally that nobody knows about. One of the biggest fears many men carry is the fear of not being enough, not successful enough, not strong enough, not respected enough, not financially stable enough, not good enough. Many men feel tremendous pressure to prove their value, to provide, to perform, to achieve, to protect. And because so much of their identity can become connected to those responsibilities, failure can feel devastating. Another fear many men carry is the fear of vulnerability. Let's be honest, vulnerability can be difficult for anyone, but for many men, vulnerability feels especially risky. Some men have learned that every time they open up, they were judged, dismissed, embarrassed, ignored, or told to get over it. After enough experiences like that, many men stop sharing, not because they don't have feelings, not because they don't care, but because they've learned that silence feels safer than exposure. The challenge is that what protects us can also isolate us. A man who never expresses emotions may avoid rejection, but he may also struggle to experience deep connection because intimacy requires vulnerability. Another fear many men carry is the fear of rejection, and not just romantic rejection, the fear of being unwanted, unneeded, unappreciated, forgotten. Many men want to feel valued for more than what they provide. They want to know that their presence matters, that who they are matters, not just what they do. But because many men have been conditioned to earn love through performance, they may struggle to believe they are worthy simply as they are. Let's talk about another fear, the fear of asking for help. Many men have spent years believing they should handle everything on their own, that strength means self-sufficiency, that needing support is weakness. But carrying everything alone can become exhausting. And unfortunately, some men suffer in silence because they don't know how to reach out or because they fear how they'll be perceived if they do. This is one reason conversations about men's mental health are so important, because strength isn't pretending you're okay when you're not. Strength is having the courage to be honest about what you're carrying. Now, I want to acknowledge something. Not every man experienced these fears. Not every man was raised the same way. Not every man expresses masculinity in the same way. We're discussing common experiences, not universal truths, because every individual story is different. But many men have spent years carrying emotional burdens that few people ever ask about, and that matters, because understanding creates compassion. One of the goals of this season has been helping men and women better understand one another. And part of understanding men means recognizing that beneath confidence, independence, and strength, there's often a human being carrying fears, insecurities, hopes, disappointments, and wounds just like everyone else. The difference is that many men were never taught how to talk about them. And perhaps that's why this conversation matters. Because healing that begins when people feel safe enough to tell the truth. As we close today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. Many men have spent their lives being asked what they can do for others, but very few people stop and ask, how are you really doing? And sometimes that question can change a life. As we close today's episode, I want you to reflect on this question. What fears have you been carrying behind the version of yourself that the world sees every day? Thank you for joining me for Season 3, Episode 11 of The Healing Space. I'm Maya Soul. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, and most importantly, keep choosing yourself